Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a Dunkin Donuts with a drive-thru. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Watch until the very end to see where we place Dunkin Donuts in the city. This is the amount of space required to make Dunkin Donuts. Here are all of the materials that we will need throughout the build. Begin by placing 4 light grey terracotta in a row on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend forwards by 2. 1, 2. Then place 3 birch planks on top. 1, 2, 3. Extend to the right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend down to the ground by 2. 1, 2. And then join to the ground by placing a light grey terracotta. Extend backwards by 2. 1, 2. Then extend to the right by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then extend backwards by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Extend across the back of the build by first of all digging a row in the ground, placing an oak plank there, and then an oak door on top. Then continue extending to the right, placing light grey terracotta until we line up with the very front of the build, and then we can simply rejoin back. This middle area is the entrance. First of all, we want to place a row of 3 black stained glass extending up from the ground just inside the left side of this archway. Right of this, place a row of black stained glass pane and place an end rod or 2 end rods extending from the ground, but more importantly in front of that centre block. I like the suspended end rod in the air, but both look good. Next, come all the way up to the top of the archway and place an orange concrete in this position, extend up but also right, place a magenta concrete in the corner, extend right and then down, and then place birch planks all the way around this, and this will be where we place the sign later on. Left and right of the entrance we want a small window, so just a singular black stained glass here. We then want to place rows of 1, 2, 3, 4 birch planks surrounding the glass and extending up and over and simultaneously extending and connecting to the centre part of the build. We also want to place a row of acacia stairs, leaving a gap of 1 above the window, across and in front and on top, and we want to place, first of all we'll just place some birch planks here extending the back of the entrance area backwards, but we also want to place acacia slabs along the top and outside of this wall as well, so it'll end up looking exactly like this, which we also want to apply to the left hand side here as well. So a black stained glass here, 1, 2, 3, 4 birch planks extending up on top and around the terracotta like so, a row of acacia stairs across the top of the window but leaving a gap of 1. We then simply want to raise up the birch planks of the entrance area here, which will allow us to place acacia slabs along the top of this wall like so. And we also want to extend the entrance area backwards just an additional row. So these overhanging blocks here, extend back an additional row, join them together, fill the top of them in or add glass to the top. But what we do want to 100% do is place acacia slabs all the way around the top of the entrance area like this. And once you have completed that, we want to come to the right side of the build, extend the top of this birch plank wall backwards and down like this. We can also extend some of the acacia slabs backwards and around as well whilst we're here. Add 2 black stained glass pane just left here along these 2 birch planks. then leave a gap of 1 and then add a separating wall of birch planks, extend across the top of the window, place acacia stairs above these 2 empty spaces, well, half empty spaces, and then fill the rest of this wall in using birch planks. The back of the restaurant is really simple. We simply want to extend the top of the wall all the way across, join down to this corner, and then fill it in using birch planks. And I'm also going to extend the acacia slabs around a little bit as well. On this final side, we will add 2 windows, one on the left here, this is a 2x2 square of black glass, and one on the right here, another 2x2 square of black glass. Birch planks all the way in between, extend up and on top to even out the wall, and then simply place acacia slabs along the top of the wall as well. Next, we are going to remove the entire inside of the restaurant and replace all of this grass with oak planks. Next, we are going to add a row of acacia slabs above the doorway here, and then we are simply going to fill the top of the roof section in using acacia slabs as well. Next, we are going to dig a pathway that leads from the entrance all the way to the front of the grid. This is 3 rows wide. We are also going to remove 2 rows in front of the left side of the restaurant like this, so extending across and connecting to the windows. And we also want to do the same thing on the right side of the restaurant as well. However, we also want to create a path that leads all the way along the right side here and across the back as well, which we can fill in using smooth stone, but we want to take these 2 blocks in front of the drive-through window and make these grey concrete, but everything else is just made using smooth stone. We are also going to add a rubbish bin in front of the window on the left side of our Dunkin Donuts. So this is a cauldron surrounded by flipped up spruce trapdoors, like this. We also want to add some bollards, so leaving a gap of 1 in front of the light grey terracottas of the entrance, we want to place red sandstone wall. We also want to create car parking spaces. This right one is a little bit different in that we want a row of smooth stone that leads from this path all the way to the end of this grid. We can then remove all of this space in between, add a row of white concrete powder on the left and right with grey concrete powder in between, and yellow carpet along the end. We also want to do a similar thing over on this side, but without the row of smooth stone. We are also going to place an iron bar right here. So this is going to act as a bike rack, as you guys will see later on. Place a row of terracotta along the left side of the grid leading all the way to the back. However, on the back, we want to have a row of 2 oak leaves extending along the back row of the grid all the way over to the right side. And then we want to place a row of terracotta along the grid leading all the way to the entrance once more. And then, lastly, we will remove all of the grass inside of the grid and replace it with grey concrete. And in doing this, we will form the drive-through. We are also going to add an order board to the drive-through. We will place it along the terracotta that coincides with the beginning of this pathway. So 2 white concrete, make them 3 rows high, and place 1 by 1 paintings like this. And that is actually a perfect pattern that I didn't intend on, so I'm going to leave that because I kind of like it, but ideally these would all be different. A stone brick wall here with a note block on top. There we have an order board and a speaker box so that we can actually let the people know what we want. I'm also going to place a 1 by 1 painting above each one of the small windows on the front of the build, just because I like the decoration. Next, the dreaded signs. So throw down a loom, open it up and place a white banner in there with some brown dye. And apply the chief indented pattern. Grab that, put that in the inventory and throw a brand new banner in there with some orange dye. Apply the pale sinister pattern. Add some white dye in there and apply the lozenge pattern. Put orange back in there and apply the pale dexter, chief and base. Perfect. We want to do that again, but now with magenta. So pale sinister, lozenge, chief, base, pale dexter. Perfect. So we can take each one of these banners and placing them in order in front of these colourful concretes. Coffee, D, D. Perfect. With all of the important bits outside made, we can now head inside of Dunkin Donuts and begin working here. Begin in the front corner of the build and place 2 smooth stone extending along this side wall. Then a blast furnace, 2 more smooth stone. Place a brewing stand on top of the end stone and a flower pot to the right. A lever above the brewing stand and a tripwire hook above the pot. We then want to place a polished blackstone stair above the furnace with a detect rail on top. A cake on this counter with an item frame and a biscuit along the counter, and a spruce trapdoor with a flower pot on top of the spruce trapdoor. We then want to create another counter space by placing a row of orange concrete in front of everything that we've just made, leaving a gap of 1 from the counter and a gap of 1 here on the left so that we can actually get in and out like so. We want to place a smooth quartz stair here in this position on the end of the counter with a glow item frame left of this, and then litter things along the counter space here. So it can be cake, it can be cups, it can be a lantern, anything that you like really. We also want to create some order boards inside, so first of all place an entire row of black concrete above everything that we made on this back wall, and extend the 2 end black concretes forwards like this. I'm also realising that it might be a good idea to now reduce the amount of ceiling that we have in here. So I'm going to add another row of acacia slabs along the bottom of the acacia slabs that we have for the roof. We probably should have just used planks in the first place, but that's okay. I'm also contemplating just joining together like this, and maybe even removing this area above the door and simply making it flat with a row of birch planks. I actually think that this looks cleaner, and what we could also do, I suppose this is a choice, I mean you'd really have to care though, is you could remove the acacia planks and you could even drop the slabs 1 row down, or half a row down, so that you kind of got like a full effect, but you would have to care quite a bit to revert that change, but I wouldn't blame you. A lot of things like that bother me as well, so. Anyway, let's fill up the order boards with all kinds of paintings. We will keep the ones that make sense, so I think that these all look pretty good. Maybe this one doesn't make too much sense because it's... There we go, this is a little bit more ambiguous, so these could be kind of like anything. They're all open to interpretation. We can place some magenta carpet in front of this counter space here, and then on the other side of the restaurant, we are going to split the area in half by placing 3 light grey terracotta extending from the centre of this wall with oak leaves along the terracotta, and then smooth quartz stairs inside of these alcoves, with end rods in front of the stairs, and then stairs on the opposite ends of the end rods with magenta carpet on top of the end rods as well. And we can place a painting above each one of the tables, perhaps a 1 by 1. I don't know whether this is too much or not. I'll leave you guys to decide that, but I think that that actually looks pretty good. I'm wondering, Do acacia stairs above windows look weird inside, or do they actually look good? It's never occurred to me to place these indoors before. I think that's another thing that I'll leave you guys to figure out. With the entire inside of the restaurant made, we are now going to add a couple of optional extras outside. First of all, a bicycle. I have a separate tutorial for this if you do want to see how to make it nice and slowly and in a variety of colours. And I'm also going to add a car to the drive-through as well. And just as with the bicycle, this has its very own separate tutorial if you can't figure out how to make it yourself. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. This tutorial is officially over, however the video is not. We must now take our Dunkin Donuts and add it into our city. You know what, guys? The modern suburbs has been needing a coffee shop, and I think that Dunkin Donuts will do just nicely. I think that we are going to slot it in between Pizza Hut and the library. Fantastic. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you are looking for more things to build, look no further than the mini city builds playlist down below in the description. As of recording this tutorial, almost 70 videos long at this point, which is absolutely crazy. It will keep you busy for a very long time. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.